1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danushka Madavella and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The President has instructed officials of the President's Fund to grant the funding for cochlear implant and liver transplant surgeries of children. Entities that purchase paddy below the control price will be blacklisted. Sri Lanka workers' remittances exceed $400 million in January 2024. India and Sri Lanka joint panel to take grid connectivity further. It is stressed that the stone inscription found in the Mulagala area will be turning point of Sri Lanka tourism sector. In world news, the Hungarian president resigns over child abuse pardon scandal. In sports news, Qatar beat Jordan in Asian Cup final. President Ranil has instructed officials of the President's Fund to grant the funding for cochlear implant and liver transplant surgeries of children. The President has made the decision for the well-being of children of the country. Accordingly, financial aid will be provided for the operations carried out in Colombo North Teaching Hospital with a limit of 1 million rupees. These funds can be utilized to pre- and post-testing and medicinal requirements. Meanwhile, President Ranil direct measures have been initiated to enhance the medical allowances provided by the Medicines Fund, increasing them from 50% to 100% effective from January 1, 2024. But Sarat Kumar, Secretary of the President's Fund, announced that in line with the President's guidance, services offered to the public by the President's Fund will be expanded from the year 2024. To achieve this, previously uncovered medical conditions have been identified and assistance has commenced for those diseases. Notably, starting this year, medical aid will cover eye surgeries for individuals under 21 years of age performed in private and semi-public hospitals. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera instructs officials to blacklist mill owners, paddy collectors and storage owners who purchase paddy below the government's controlled price. The government has taken measures to purchase paddy of the March season. The government provides loan through state banks with a interest rate to purchase paddy. The control price has also been set up for the benefit of the farmers. The minister stressed that it is unfair to purchase paddy with a low price, and those who are purchasing paddy under low prices will be blacklisted. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Agriculture says that a high yield can be expected from almost all paddy fields in the country. This was revealed by a research survey conducted by the Batalegoda Paddy Research Institute recently. 100 acres or 1,000 acres of paddy lands were destroyed by the recent floods, but almost all the paddy lands have been recultivated. Sri Lanka has recorded an 11.4% increase in workers' remittances in January 2024 compared to those earned in January 2023. According to Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment, Manusha Nanekara, Sri Lanka earned a total of $407.6 million in foreign remittances in January. As per data gathered by the Bank of Sri Lanka's foreign remittances earned between January and December 2023 amounted to $5,969.6 million. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchan Wijayasekara told the Economic Times of India that India and Sri Lanka Joint Working Committee on the Power Sector are likely to meet this month to further discuss grid interconnectivity and renewable energy collaboration. Two countries have been planning to connect their grid to trade power for almost 2 decades, and the deliberations picked up pace in the past few years amid green energy ambitions of the country. Technical reports are already being discussed with officials of India's Central Electricity Authority, Power Grid Corporation of India and Ceylon Electricity Board, ET, had reported earlier. Professor of the Archaeology Department of the University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Karuna Sen Hettiarachchi said the stone inscription found in the Mulagala area will be a turning point of Sri Lanka's tourism sector. It is the largest stone inscription found in the country. According to the characters and the nature of the wearing away, the committee appointed in this regard has determined that it has been inscribed over 2,200 years ago. The inscription has been written in Brahmi script using 24 of the 25 Brahmi letters and consisted of 10 lines of characters with nearly 1,000 letters in the entire inscription. Some of the sections are indecipherable due to the damage from being exposed to the elements over the years. The inscription is protected by being located at the Nibulagala mountain range, which was declared as an archaeological reserve in 1957. The professor made the remarks while participating at the Zuma discussion program at the SLBC today.
Elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior, a comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Following speculation that the GCE O-level examination due to be held in May would be postponed, Commissioner General of Examinations Amit Jayasundara said the official announcement regarding the examination will be released soon. Commissioner General of Examinations said that the examination of the answer scripts on the GCE Advanced Examination 22-2023 is already underway. It was decided to increase the 1,040 rupee allowance paid for the examiners to evaluate the answer scripts to 2,000 rupees. The Cabinet has decided to pay the same allowance to the examiners who evaluate the 2023-24 GCE A-level examination scripts as well.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
On to Watchlight. Minister of Justice, Prison Affairs and Constitutional Reform Dr. Vijayadas Rajapaksa, PC, said so many countries which have raised concerns about our online safety bill have statutes in all those countries to prevent the attempts by the social media to harm society. Similarly, in Sri Lanka, we are also bound to introduce such a law. The minister is in an interview with the Sun. The Observer said that our civil society has pointed out that certain laws be amended so that we will engage in a dialogue with our local community and not with the international experts. That came to you in a Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Hungarian President Katalin Novak resigns over child abuse pardon scandal. Myanmar's military government enforces conscription law. King Charles thanks public for support after cancer diagnosis. President of Hungary has resigned live on television over the decision to pardon a man convicted of covering up a child sexual abuse case. It was revealed last week President Novak had given clemency to a man jailed for forcing children to retract sexual abuse claims against the director of a state-run children's home. Protest calling for her to step down has been growing in Hungary. Novak apologized and said she made a mistake in granting the pardon. Judith Varga, her former Minister of Justice who approved the pardon, has also resigned from her new role leading the European elections campaign for Prime Minister Viktor Orban's ruling Fidesz party. The controversial which led to the resignation came after names of 25 people pardoned by Novak in April last year as a part of a visit to Hungary by Pope Francis were made public by Hungarian media last week. The government of Myanmar has announced compulsory military service for all young men and women as the country's turmoil continues. The army seized power from the civilian government in a coup in February 2021, but in recent months it has been defeated in a series of battles with ethnic militia and anti-coup fighters. The move announced on Saturday will require all men aged 18 to 35 and women aged 18 to 27 to serve at least 2 years under military command. No further details have been released, but in a statement the junta said in a defense minister would release necessary bylaws, procedures, announcements, orders, notification and instructions. Military has faced a series of humiliating defeats in recent months. King Charles has given his heartfelt thanks and messages of support from the public in his first statement since being diagnosed with cancer. Said Pharaoh Monarch said all those who have been affected by cancer will know such kind thoughts are the greatest comfort and encouragement. News of the diagnosis was announced by Buckingham Palace on Monday. The King is being treated for an unspecified form of cancer and is currently staying in Sandringham. His cancer was detected while he was undergoing treatment for an enlarged prostate in January. While the type of cancer has not been disclosed, the palace confirmed it was not prostate cancer. Back to the headlines of the world news. Hungarian President Katalin Novak resigns over child abuse pardon scandal. Myanmar's military government enforces conscription law. King Charles thanks public for support after cancer diagnosis. That was world news. On to development news. 200 buses that were not in running condition were repaired and put into service to strengthen the bus fleet of the Sri Lanka Transport Board at a ceremony held under the patronage of the Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. This follows the concept of Minister of Transport, Highways and Mass Media Dr. Bandha Gunawardena. 852 buses were languishing at SLBC depots in January 2023, and the engineers, technicians of 11 local workstations and 107 SLBC depots across the island began to restore these buses. 193 buses were repaired under the first phase of the bus renovation project, which was started in 2023 at a cost of 103 million rupees. 201 buses were repaired at a cost of 270 million rupees under the second phase. If 200 new buses are purchased, nearly 4,000 million rupees had to be spent at the prevailing prices.
Moving on with sports news.
Akram Araf scored a hat-trick of penalties as Qatar beat Jordan 3-1 in the Asian Cup final at Lusail Stadium. The results meant host Qatar became the fifth team to win back-to-back Asian titles, having also triumphed in 2019. Zan al-Namar's second-half goal had level matters after Afif had dispatched a first-half penalty. However, Afif scored twice more from the spot in the closing stages after video assistant referee checks to finish the tournament with 8 goals. Jordan had been aiming to win the Asian Cup for the first time, having stunned South Korea 2-0 in the semi-finals to reach their final. That came to you in sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීත හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Global cocoa prices have hit a fresh record high as dry weather hurts crops in West Africa. Cocoa prices in the New York commodities market reached a new all-time high of $5,800 for US dollars a ton on Thursday. The cost of key ingredient for making chocolate has now roughly doubled since the start of the last year. Soaring cocoa prices are already filtering through to consumers and squeezing major chocolate makers. On Thursday, one of the world's biggest chocolate manufacturers, Hershey, warned historic cocoa prices are expected to limit earnings growth this year. The company's chief executive, Michelle Buck, also did not rule out putting up prices for customers. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීත හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news, the 13th Footwear and Leather Fair, which began on Friday, will conclude today at 9 p.m. at the BMICH. Exhibition organized by Sri Lanka Footwear and Leather Product Manufacturers Association in collaboration with the Ministry of Industries, Industrial Development Board and Export Development Board. Many suppliers of raw material, accessories and machinery from China, India, Pakistan are participating in the event, which is being held after 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. That came to you in economic news.
Weather report.
Mainly fair weather will prevail over the island. Fairly strong winds over 30 to 40 kilometers are expected at times to the eastern slopes of the continental hills and the northern, north-central, eastern, northwestern, Uva and southern provinces. Precipitation conditions can be expected in some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, western and Uva provinces and in the Galle, Mathura and Pune districts the morning hours of tomorrow. Back to the headlines of the news. The President has instructed officials of the President's Fund to grant the funding for cochlear implant and liver transplant surgeries for children. Entities that purchase paddy below the control price will be blacklisted. Sri Lanka workers' remittances exceed $400 million in January 2024. India and Sri Lanka joined a panel to take grid connectivity further. It is stressed that the stone inscription found in the Bulagala area will be a turning point of Sri Lanka's tourism sector. In world news, Hungarian president resigns over child abuse pardon scandal. Sports news, Qatar beat Jordan in the Asian Cup final. With that, we end the afternoon's broadcast. Time moves at 1:31. Let's enjoy music with lunch until 2 p.m. as we always do.